in the name of the people of this country, in the name of the young men and women whose lives may be put on the line.
Mr. Ensign, aye. Mr. Enzi, aye.
By the decision that this Senate will make is too weighty, is too far-reaching, and it's only fair to the people of America who are going to be asked to give, in some instances, everything that they've got, everything they have, if a war ensues. And I tell you, my friends, I don't want that on my conscience. Not I.
Go back to the erectile dysfunction part. You know that there are people watching it saying Phil Donahue is just appealing, you know, to the, I don't know how to characterize it. Why did you have to go there is what they're saying.
Because I think, first of all, everybody who enlists in the Army thinks they might come home dead. Nobody thinks of coming home like this. And I'm sorry if people wince when they see that very personal scene. But I think more and more people ought to be wincing at the casualties from this war. The people who aren't wincing are the people who can't see the coffins coming home draped in the American flag. They can't see that because the administration has prohibited the photographing of these coffins. By the way, the administration says you can't photograph this, and the entire mainstream establishment media in America said, okay. There's been no pushback here. I'm hardly the first person to make this point. I'm not claiming original arguments here, but this is the most sanitized. I mean, we're naming our invasions, shock and awe. This is the White House Iraq Group, WIG. These are the advertising agency warriors who name our rolling thunder. They were the ones that wrote these talking points, the ones we just saw. And, I mean, you can't believe how superficial this is. I mean, this was the debate. By the way, an unconstitutional debate. This Congress did not vote up or down. Don't bother them with Article 1, Section 8, as demanded by the framers. What they do is say, here, Mr. President, if you think you have to, here's permission. Then if he goes and it doesn't work, they're able to say, well, wait a minute, CYA, cover your butt. That's what they've done.
Do you think, though, or I'll ask you what you think, most of the people responding after that on the floor were Republicans. Do you think those people were insincere? Do you think they were lying? Do you think? I mean,
no, I think they were caught up in the heavy breathing. They were caught up in a belief that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction, even though all they had to do was go to the Intelligence Committee and they would have told him, well, wait, we're not sure. Let's let the UN finish its job. No, I don't think they all had a meeting and say, they wanted to, Pete Stark says in our film, from the floor of the House, this president wants blood. He wants to go to war. And that's the fact of it. He swaggered before the cameras. Bring it on. Every time I see Tomas Young, I think, bring it on. You know, you see a young man in a wheelchair, you think, oh, poor guy, he can't walk. He can't do a lot of things. He can't cough. I mean, it just, the closer you get to this, the more it blows you back. And the next time a Congress decides to approve a war resolution, before they do that, before the next president swaggers before the camera, I want him to meet Tomas Young.
Last question about that clip. You used Bob Byrd throughout your entire documentary. Why?
Robert Byrd stood almost alone, not quite, but almost alone, pleading with his colleagues. Don't rush this through. He called attention to the fact this is 3 weeks before an election. How manipulative can we be? Asking a Congress to vote up or down or to approve a war resolution 3 weeks before an election was a political masterstroke by the people in the White House who couldn't wait to go to war and send somebody else's kids to fight it.
Where can people see this besides the clips on this program?
Our movie will be seen in landmark theaters.
Mark Cuban's theaters.
Yes, we premiere on April 2nd here in Washington. We're invited to screen for the National Press Club on April 3rd. The film actually opens at the East Street Theater in Washington the following week. But we're asking people to remember April 2nd for Washington, April 9th for New York, and then we go to Boston, and we'll be in San Francisco, LA, Chicago. And then we're hoping, what we're doing here really is we have to prove that we can put people in the seats. You know, theater owners have to be understood. And they're a little wary, I have to say. You know, Iraq docs are playing to empty seats. By the way, the American people no longer have Iraq as their #1 concern. Imagine you're in Iraq fighting, and you read where, I mean, we've forgotten these people. We're no longer worried about it.
Here's more.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Dennis. He's a Vietnam vet, too.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for speaking out. You know, I understand it was the same for us. You can tell the truth, be branded a traitor, or you internalize and self-destruct.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man. What happened to her?
Shot underneath the collarbone that severed my spinal cord, paralyzed from the chest down.
Man, sorry to hear that. Well, you're gonna have a sore ass the rest of your life.
Yeah. Oh, when I signed up, I was at Fort Hood, so I trained in the woods. There's no woods and grass in Iraq.
I'm Cathy. I'm Thomas's mom.
Oh, hi, I'm Kelly.
Nice to meet you. Elizabeth. You guys have someone...
We were in Iraq.
You were in Iraq? Oh, wow.
Will not be in heaven. Thou shalt not kill. Kick your ass. Go yourself. Go yourself.
I thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
No.
And I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
Thank you. But you know what? I'm glad you're alive. Right? Glad you're alive. Oh, yeah. But I want to make sure you get the help that you need.
Thank you.
I noticed in Washington when we were there with the Gold Star Mothers for Peace and the MFSO, whose babies have not come home, whose husbands have not come home, I noticed them touching Thomas, kissing him, hugging him, wanting to be near him. And I think there was a connection there because he came home and their family members didn't.